Yo, what up? It's your boy, One Sir Grove. This is Casting 495 Celebrities Worldwide. I said Casting 495 Celebrities Worldwide. Thanks for tuning in. If it's your first time or if you've tuned in before, salute. Hey, tonight we're talking about, or this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, we don't fucking know. But within the 24-hour time frame of the circle of time, we're talking about new material, raps, acapella. I'm gonna bust some lyrics. This is a lyrics writing session here for choruses. Okay, so I should say this is a chorus production right here, right now. This is the 98th episode of C4CW, and I'm your host, One Sir Grove. I'm also an entertainer, a rapper. Obviously, I'm a podcaster, broadcaster, DJ, VJ. Because you know I DJ by VJing. Because when you're a VJ now, it's kind of like a DJ, right? If you're video jockeying by playing videos on the web like regularly and you're like, yo, here go a video, bust this, old school, and you spin in videos, right? You're fucking DJing too, man. I mean, it's the same thing. You're just doing it virtually. So, yeah, man, rapper, entrepreneur, 495 affiliated. Let's get to it. Hey, we got to come up with some new material for this new 495 project. Got to do it. It's a must. It's imperative. And so I've been kicking some different lyrics, putting together some new constructs, some new data constructs, some new content, some new productions, some new materials. And yeah, man, I gotta come up with some zany, wacky, off the wall, ultra fucking hard, ultra fresh, ultra dope type shit. I really do, man, because I fucking rocks the mic in tribute to legacy artists like Bob Dylan. I keep bringing that energy. And when we co-op, man, when we collab, you and I as a team, as 495 supporters, 495 proponents, 495 fans, and 495 as a team, as an org, as a worldwide organization network, man, we synergize. So we keep coming with the fucking energy. That's what we do. That's our mission, man. That's our aim. That's what the fuck we do. And we do it for world peace, man. We really do. Like, motherfuckers think we sideways sometimes. They think we on some dark shit. Man, we ain't really. We're just, man, you can't just come across like a saint and think that people are gonna like pay attention to your lyric or your presentation or your broadcast. You gotta do some shit. You gotta have a method to the madness. And that's what I have, is I have a method to what is perceived as madness. Some motherfuckers think that I just be on some madness type weirdo, like silly, like goofy shit. Cause niggas is misinformed and they have no idea how we 495 is strategized and how we've put this together as a team. This shit is calculated. It's calculated. You think I just be on these podcasts by myself coming up with spontaneous shit? I do, but in the context and within the frameworks and within the parameters of what 495 as a whole has come up with. Like, I huddle with niggas. Like, we get together and we talk about shit that we doing, okay? I didn't just fucking come up with this podcast by myself, man. I talked to niggas who I operate with, bruh, okay? And we were like, yo, this is what we finna do. I'm gonna be the front person on the podcast, kinda, sorta. We gonna bring other cats on the air, but really we doing this as a team, man. This is 495. And on this tip, because there are ads interlaced, interspersed, interspread, right? Intertwine. I don't think that's a word. Intertwine with the interwoven. There are ads at the beginning mixed in with these podcasts. Sometimes, man, they sound random and it just sounds spontaneous. Man, really, this is a money-making operation. You see, because anybody who supports us, we ain't panhandling. Do you get that? Like, this is a job. This is a business enterprise. Advertisers are paying us to come up with content. Someone's listening to the show. Someone's downloading the show. Y'all motherfuckers might be like, this show whack, dog. Like, you talking about stupid shit. Like, ain't no niggas listening to you and shit. Fuck your show, bro. Yeah, that's what you think. But in reality, some people actually like the show. Can you fucking fathom that? Can you imagine that? Could you consider that as a remote possibility? Dude, you might not see... Look, I haven't even put any money behind the show to advertise it. I wanted to test it, which is what we did. So we acid tested it, man. We beta tested it. We prototyped it. We came up with the blueprint and the schematic, and then we ran with it. Even in the most insane shit that I've said, that I've talked, that I've just spewed forth and uttered, bro, this show been downloaded. This show been listened to. What if I advertised this shit? Huh? Oh, now you're like, whoa, wait a second. He's got a point. If he's just saying what is apparently, which is based on the evidence we have thus far, and he's just doing some random shit, and somebody finds it entertaining, well, what if 495, what if they actually promoted it and put some money behind it? Then there would be even more supporters. And this could actually turn into something that's fucking revolutionary. Whoa, Grove and 495, man, they're onto some. I never thought of it like that. That's some slick shit. We're already getting paid for the show. There's already money in the account. Is it a big number? Depends on depends on how you think about things, man, and your parallax view in the universe. I would say to you, by Western standards, no. But could it be in a nanosecond from now? Yes. You see, that's the mirror effect. You understand? You think it's one thing, but when you look at it from a different angle, it's something totally fucking different. It might not be a whole lot of money, but check game. Some niggas make 0 fucking pennies. They're not on a platform to make any money. They don't even know how to fucking make money. The way I think is this. If I can make 5 cents a nickel, if I could even make 3 cents or 2 cents or 5 cents or 10 or 15 or 20 or $1, okay? If I can make $1, man, how do I reproduce that 1,000,000 times over and more? How do I replicate that? How do I enlarge that? How do I magnify that? Because if the show is worthless, then it means it's worth 0 fucking pennies. This show isn't worthless. Yeah, at the beginning it was experimental. Could have made 0 fucking pennies. Well, I could tell you this. There are a few pennies in the account. So if I made a few pennies, well then shit. It's worth something. So how do I make it worth more? I put some money behind it. And then it becomes at some point exponential. So all the motherfucking haters that we're talking about, you guys will never make any money. That shit's worthless. It's fucking never gonna go anywhere. Well, it's already gone somewhere, motherfucker. Yeah. So what you thought you knew, it ain't even true, though. So that's the nature of this mission. I'm gonna tell you like this also. This is just one channel of revenue. We got other shit going on. We got a book out. We got the ebook. We've got the Audible, the audio book. We've got the paperback book, which is basically a manga. It's a graphic fucking novel. And we've got 15 of them in the works. You see? So we've got books. We've got podcasts. We've got videos. We've got albums. We've got singles. We have EPs. We have maxi singles. Bro, we even got a clothing line that y'all, if you ain't been listening to the podcast, you don't know about. We already designed it. We already did it. And we're working on an independent film. I'd call that an industry. Look, man, we gon' do the Wu-Tang business model with our own little flair. And what I mean by that is that, like the Wu-Tang was successful with marketing, branding, hugely successful, tremendously successful. Man, they've made an enormous sum of money with their branding. They got the merchandise, they got the swag, they got the swag, they got the fucking merch, they got the business model down. Yo, they branded themselves, man. And a lot of cats think, it's all about the music. It's all about the music. It's all about the music. Like, you got to make a music video, and you got to have, like, live action scenes, and you got to have, like, a bunch of niggas in the streets, like, throwing up gang signs and guns and shit, and it's got to hit, like, so many millions of hits and views. What y'all might not know is that we're on 10,000 different websites. Our music is available on 10,000 different websites. I said 10 fucking thousand. That's the actual number, because I paid for a service to do that. You see, we've already invested, and I invest in the stock market too. I'm also a stock market investor. So I own shares of different companies, because I invest in stocks, man. And so, I invest in companies. I invest in companies that invest in real estate holdings and shit in Florida, in California, in New York, right here. Yeah. So, we ain't fucking around, man. This ain't bullshit, and it never was. And we've done music videos in Canada already that are live action. Because I started a branch of 495 and this here entity in Canada with my homeboys from the west, from out west, from the West Coast. Yeah, we did that. Bloods and Crips. We put them cats on up in Canada, and I won't say who because they know who the fuck we put on. They know we put them on. They're rocking the gear on the video. They got the T-shirt on the TV show, on the video on Much Music Television, where it shows the logo. Yeah, it shows the name and the brand and all that. And we helped them do that. We helped them do many different videos and many different albums and many different tours. I put that shit together with 495 and our Canadian counterparts. Those videos, they already did hundreds of thousands. One of them, I think, close to, if not over 1 million. That was a long time ago. Total content from everyone, 495, our brand, our label, in the past 25 years, all of everything that we've ever had and put out, man, it's already exceeded 10 million plays. We've already exceeded that a long time ago. Maybe even 100 million. Like, you probably like, come on, dude, seriously? Yeah, I'm being serious because we did it secretly. We did it. We're secretive, and we do shit differently than a lot of niggas do. You might not see everything in one lump sum because, nigga, we doing secret shit. So we're a legacy company. We're a legacy organization. And we're worldwide, and we got a lot of chapters. We got people, we got folks in the Midwest, man, that be on this ticket here. That we put on when I lived in Chicago. Okay? When I lived in Chicago and after the fact. Got people on the West Coast, got people in the South, got people on the East Coast, got people overseas. So, hey, you don't often see a major concert by us or like a major video by us because, man, we've been independent underground and we never signed to any major fucking record company. Now we're following the strange music business model because Tech N9ne, isn't that what he did? He was underground just like us, independent, not signing to any majors, right? Yeah, and it was kind of sort of like an obscure, like you talk to art, like I go to different states and shit. I'll be like, yo, man, you ever heard of this rapper Tech N9ne? They're like, Tech N9ne? I heard a Little Boosie. I heard of like, Gangsta Nip. I heard of like, I don't know, some group in New York that's underground, the homies and shit that rap. Nah, I ain't never heard of Tech N9ne. Look, man, you might think this is fucking crazy shit, right? I'm gonna say it like this. Back in the day, I would go with, when I was in Chicago back in the early 2000s, when I was waiting for my security credentials out here on the East Coast to come and work at these different government agencies and whatnot, had a little layover in Chicago for nearly a year, about 9 months. So I was talking to some cats out in the Midwest. Reason I brought up Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie's big. Now, depending on where you live in America, you might not even heard about Lil Boosie or who Lil Boosie is, right? Lil Boosie's big in Chicago. Lil Boosie's big in the Midwest. When I was on the West Coast, I'm not saying nobody did, but back then, like if you brought up Lil Boosie on the West Coast, when I grew up out West, you wouldn't know who the fuck he was. Cats would be like, Lil Boosie, we know who Twista is. We know who Tongue Twista is. We know who Do or Die is. But Lil Boosie, you ain't never heard of Lil Boosie. You get to Chicago, you go to Chicago for any length of time, period of time. Lil Boosie, big name in Chicago. When I was in Chicago, this is real shit. Cats out in Chicago, when I lived in Chicago, before the movie NWA came out like 15 years later, right? They knew about NWA but they didn't really know about NWA. Like, if you're from California, you know about NWA. Like, you would talk to cats, man, in the rap game. You would talk to cats in the rap game in Chicago. You'd be like, man, so you remember this NWA track? They're like, well, be honest, man. Like, I knew about Eazy-E and I knew about Bone Thugs and I knew about, like, Biggie and Tupac, but I didn't really listen to NWA's albums. Like, I know NWA after everything's said and done, you know, when Eazy passed and Christopher Wallace passed and Tupac Shakur passed. Like, you know, I heard about that on MTV Raps, or, you know, I'm saying MTV Raps, I'm being facetious, but at the same time, you know, they heard about it on BET because MTV fucking Raps was over and done with a long time ago. I heard they're bringing it back, but we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it's already back. A lot of intel, a lot of information, a lot of data in the world. But my point is, man, when I was in Chicago, believe it or not, because it's the Midwest and it's not the West Coast, cats didn't really know about NWA. Like, you would be knowing about NWA if you grew up out on the West Coast. Like, you don't grow up out on the West Coast, man, and not know about fucking NWA. Okay? You grow up in junior high school, man, even if you Christian and you ain't even, like, have anything to do with, like, the world of, like, urban music or anything like that, you're part of a faith-based organization and your parents told you to stay away from music and, like, you know, dark raps and, like, fallen angel technology or whatever they telling you, right? You knew about NWA because they'd be like, and by the way, especially that NWA, we don't want, because it's demonic and whatever. Who the fuck don't know about NWA, man? Okay? So, but when you get to the Midwest, back in the early 2000s, and I even heard on and saw myself on TV, Sean Combs, when he was asked at some point about NWA, he said something to the effect of, you know, to be perfectly honest, like, no disrespect, because I know that they were famous and are, and that they had a history. Now, this isn't a quote from Sean Combs, P. Diddy, okay? I'm saying he said something very similar to what I'm saying to you. It's not exactly verbatim and maybe not even close, but what I remember him saying, maybe it is close. He said something like, I didn't dislike Eric Wright and I didn't hate the dude. I just, you know, I never met the guy or something like that. I just knew that they were big. I knew NWA was big and that they became successful and they were this mega group. But, you know, in New York, we had our own thing going on and they were a West Coast group. And he's like, no disrespect to it, but I don't really, you know, I'm not 100% familiar with, like, Eric Wright and, like, you know, Eazy-E and NWA and Dre and them dudes. Like, straight up, real talk. Like, it was something like that. If you can find the interview, you'd be like, damn, Grove is kind of correct about that. So even someone like P. Diddy was being honest, and he's like, we're on the East Coast, man. NWA, the West Coast, that might be big to y'all out there. And you might think that NWA is worldwide, and they are. But we got our own artists out here, man. We got our own legacy. We got our own thing, and we don't hate them dudes. It's a big world, man. So you'd be surprised when you travel to different places and you talk to people, what you think is normal, what you think is, like, regularly occurring, what you think is ubiquitous and, you know, throughout the land, and that ostensibly it can be seen and viewed by anyone and everyone, and it's just like, dude, what do you mean? How could you not know about the rapper Tech-9? Strange Music, man, was underground. Like, Tech-9 was an underground, obscure rap artist. And I say obscure in that, like, even rappers that, like, knew about, say, Eminem, when you would ask them about Tech-9, they're like, I think I heard something about that dude. I'm talking about before he became successful, okay? Before Strange Music was on the level of what it is now. I'm talking 10 years ago. 10 years ago, though, Strange Music was starting to blow, and when I say blow, I mean, like, blow up to become, like, mega successful. Even 10 years ago, people were like, Tech-9? Yeah, kind of, I don't know. Who's Tech-9? And I'm like, you never heard of Strange Music? And they're like, nah, dude, sorry. And I'm like, wow. So, that's 495. That's Send the Soul Stealer. That's One Sir Grove. That's Mr. Brock Lee Landers. That's Spank motherfucking T. That's, you know, Mike Choi, a.k.a. Michael J.K. Choi. And a bunch of other artists and personas and personalities and individuals who you may have never heard of before, because we've been underground, we've been independent, we went from being minor to doing major independent projects, and we've been around, man, for over for a quarter century now, and that is legit. So now with that, we're about to emerge. We're about to emerge on a whole different level, on a whole new level of gameplay, and going with the John von Neumann game theory, John Nash, and Hugh Everett 3, and all the different types of maths therein, thereto, therewith. Yeah, it's on and cracking. Some might say it's on and bracking. And what I mean by that, if you're not familiar with with that expression from the Urban Dictionary, it means that it's fucking popping. And yeah, that's the emphasis here, man, is if you've never heard of us before, well, you fucking have now. And if we were on this level before of being independent, and in your minds, like, therefore in the minor leagues, right? We're not, man, anymore. Now we're major independents, and we're about to break through in the market on a new fucking unprecedented level, on a new on a new and unprecedented level, for clarification there, to be clear. Just like Tech Nine Strange Music did. Just like any rapper who you didn't know about and people were talking about and you didn't know anything about, and then you started hearing a little bit more, like Tekashi did. Like Treyway Entertainment. We're about to break through. This is a major breakthrough. And the way we do that is choruses. Choruses, the hook. Choruses, the hook. The jingle, the chorus, the hook, and of course, ultra fucking dope lyrics. So we're about to come up with some choruses that are just off the fucking wall. That's what we're going to do here, right now. So, yo, check it out. You got to check in with the next episode. Check in to review, come back and scope out the next podcast. Yes, come back, tune back in, as they used to say. Tune back in to the next episode, and we're actually going to have some choruses that we have written. It's going to be a continuation of this podcast, and we're actually going to have some choruses. I'm going to have at least 2-3 choruses that I've come up with, and those choruses are going to be tracks that get money put behind them, and they're going to turn into major hit songs, and y'all are going to know in advance about those hit songs, because we're going to do it right here on this podcast, and y'all know before the rest of the world knows that we made those podcasts on the fly, on the air, and then we put them out, and y'all will know the strategy in advance of the success, because we're already successful. Tune back in to the next episode.